Before we dive in, let me introduce myself. My name is Kyla. I'm the content specialist here at InUni Global, and I'll be introducing our amazing speakers for today. But I wanted to share what this training is all about. So today we'll be tackling all about Canva. I know you're very excited to bring out the creative side in you. That's why you're here. And this training is designed to support agents and business developers. We are producing a landing page. The sales toolkit will give you everything you need to help with you with your recruitment. It will include flyers, links, brochures, the webinar that we're having right now, and of course the Canva templates that we will be showing today. So the target release of this is by the end of September. And the Canva templates are tailored for your use for your social media channels and WhatsApp. All right. So everyone, before we dive in, let's start with a quick question. So I have a quick question for you. How would you describe yourself as a Canva user? So I will be showing a question here, and I want you to select just one answer. So how would you describe yourself as a Canva user? Do you have zero knowledge? Do you have basic knowledge in Canva? Or do you also have, advanced knowledge in Canva? Have you been using it before with your designs or anything, have you used it with anything before? So we'd really love to know. So if you can, answer the question on your screen, that would be amazing. Yeah, so let's give a few seconds to other users so they could also, answer the poll in front of them. Okay, so I'm seeing a movement already. And after I end this poll, I will be showing you the test results, not really the test results, but the poll results. Okay, so has everyone answered? Okay, so we will be ending the poll in 3, 2, 1. And now we will be sharing the results on your screen. So basically, um, most of the people or the audience that we have right now has basic knowledge in Canva. So it's great to know that you have basic knowledge. For some that doesn't have any knowledge, we will be happy to introduce it to you right away. So yeah, so thank you so much everyone for participating. And now to introduce the speakers. Okay. So on your screen, you are seeing two amazing gentlemen that you have in front. So we've got a fantastic lineup of speakers joining us today. Two experts who not only know how to use Canva, but are here also to, give you a first-hand look at, how you can use it and how you can, navigate through it. So on the left side of your screen, we have Jason Kaluwag, the lead graphic designer at InUni Global. And on your right, we have Ricardo Villarreal, also a graphic designer at InUni Global. So you will be seeing more of them and hearing more of them as we go along. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today. Just a little bit of housekeeping, everyone, before we begin. Please know that this session is being recorded and a link to the recording will be shared with you after this session. Also, we do encourage you to ask questions throughout the webinar, even at the start. So if you have any questions right now in your head, you may start dropping it on the Q&A box. So our speakers will address as many as possible during and after the session. And we'll follow up via email just in case we don't get to you. Now, let's start, shall we? So I'll be calling Jason as he will give you a close look, and he will also take you through the common functionalities of Canva. All right, Jason, take it away.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Jason, and we are glad that you are able to attend this presentation. We are also equally excited with the turnout of the participants. So before we dive into Canva's exciting and user-friendly features, please allow me to share with you a brief history of Canva. Canva is a graphic design platform that started in Australia in 2013, created by Melanie Perkins, Cliff Albrecht, and Cameron Adams. Their goal was to make design possible for everyone, not just for professionals. And in the process, they were able to build Canva, a simple online tool with drag and drop features, free templates, and easy access to fonts, photos, and graphics. Since its launch, Canva has grown into a worldwide platform with millions of users, including students, teachers, small businesses, and large companies, and nonprofit groups as well. Canva is especially useful today because it allows people to create professional looking designs quickly without needing advanced skills. It also supports teamwork, letting groups work on the same design in real time. Also, in today's digital age, where visual content is so important for communication, marketing, and social media, Canva plays a key role. It helps people express ideas, build brands, and share stories in a simple and creative way. We could safely say that the working class is now into it, similar to the students, teachers whose reports and presentations are being created in Canva. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our subject matter expert, Ricky. He will be leading the presentation, after which we'll open the floor for questions throughout the remainder of this call. So Ricky, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Jason. Hey guys, my name is Ricardo Jose, or you can call me Ricky. I'm a graphic designer here in InUni and also the creator of the templates that I will be showing and teaching you guys how to use. So before that, let me share my screen. And before I present the templates, I will be going through a few guidelines on the guidelines on using the provided template for Canva. I won't be going through all of it, but I'll just be highlighting the do's and don'ts on how to use the Canva templates. Also, it's a lot, so I won't mention everything, but the key ones are a few ones from the do's. To use only official assets and logos provided to you, or the ones you can get from the website. So it's understandable that you won't be given the assets required. So it's important to know that you are allowed to pick up the assets from their websites, such as here in Avila, and on their socials like LinkedIn or Instagram, wherever, as long as as long as it's from the brand and not from outside sources such as iStock or Envato or whatnot. Um, Another do is to please very carefully read the guidelines, which will also be provided to you, the brand guidelines, so you know what fonts, colors, and logos to use. But don't worry, in the template, most of it's already provided. At most, you're only gonna have to change the photos and adding your own agency logo. So to start, once you have selected your desired um, Canva template from the toolkit, you will be presented with this. This is the UI for the Canva, and I'll go through a bit on what to do, on what you see here actually. So if you on your top left of your screen, this is the hamburger menu, and it actually yes, the hamburger menu, and when you hover over the tools here, you'll see plenty of different menus. Don't worry, you won't be using a lot of it. But the key ones are elements, the text, and the upload function. So these are the only ones you have to worry and focus on. So yeah. All right. So before we start editing on the templates, two important things that you guys need to know is first enabling your margins, your safe zones. And it's important because especially with Instagram's new 4:5 aspect ratio, um, when you open I'm not sure if you guys have seen uh when our older material before they swapped it over from 1080 by 1080 square to 4:5 aspect ratio. When you look at the thumbnails, the logos are all cropped out into the side. I think they changed that again recently, but just for safety, it's always good to enable your margins. As you can see here, a thin white box has appeared. It will also help you know where to put your logo and where to align it to the college logo. Second, also very important is to know how to enable the rulers so that you know how to measure and align your logos to the partner logo. So if you look on your keyboard, it's works the same as Mac and Windows. It's just simply pressing Shift and R, and it will enable the rulers here. If you have any experience in Photoshop, it's almost the same. You just have to drag it, and it'll leave a line here, so that way it'll be easier for you to gauge on how you should put your logo. So another thing, right? The agency logos. Right? We will On our end, we were not sure if how big your logos are going to be, and logos comes in various shapes and sizes. So either comes in it's rectangular or square or circle. Um, so what's important is that an important thing to know is that your agency logo cannot be bigger than the college logo. That's something that you should always keep in mind. And it's understandable that that your logo won't look good, especially if it's a square or a circle logo. It won't look good if it's something like this, right? So, and another way you can fix that is simply just adjusting the college logo a little bit bigger, right? Just so that both logos can be presented properly and it looks better in the end. So just pretend that this square here is your agency logo. Also, please limit it to only at least 3 logos at max, because it will take up a lot of space, and depending on the content of your design, it will look extremely cramped. Okay, so let's walk through a bit of the logos. What we're looking at here is Avila, one of our US partners. So this is the 1080 by 1920. This aspect ratio is perfect for platforms such as WhatsApp or Instagram stories, Facebook stories, whatever, what so. And we've made different designs here and with different variations so that it doesn't look all the same. So as you can see here, we have one where it's just a photo, the header and body, and a slight design similar here, but this time we're using a circular design rather than the square one in the bottom. And while I'm scrolling down, as you can see, there are more designs here that you can choose from, and different webinar as well. So let's focus on the webinar first, because that's what a lot of you will be using it for. And okay, so as you can see here, we have a header here, our text, and the time, date, and icon. It's already set for you. All you have to do is change the text and add the speaker photos if there is any. Um, so what's also another important thing to know, as you can see here, the text here, it's all just lorem ipsum. I set it to like this so that at least you know that there's enough space to have like long body copy or what so. And okay, so besides that, I will be showing you how to upload a photo. And let's use this as an example. As you can see here, we have 2 empty frames, and a way to upload that, there's 3 ways that you can do that, right? So there's an upload function here on Canva. On the left side here in the toolbar, it says uploads. You'll find it there. And all you have to do is simply press upload, right? And navigate to wherever you stored your photo, and upload it. As you can see, I already uploaded here, but I'll do it again just for you guys. And then simply just select the photo, right? And then drag it into the frame here. And it's simple as that. And then you can adjust the photos just by simply clicking on it, and it will allow you to adjust the photo so that it will fill the frame better. Okay, so another way for you guys to be able to upload it is simply just dragging and dropping it directly from your computer. So we have here, right, the file here, and all you have to do is upload it onto the Canva, and it will show up just like that. So you don't have to navigate all the way here to upload it. And the other way is so that you guys can, it's another simple way is that simply copy and pasting. Whether you're copying, pasting it from your browser or from your computer directly, it will work. I'll show you here. I'm just gonna simply press Command C or Control C, depending on the computer you're using, and then just pressing Control V, and it will upload the file onto Canva. And just simply drag it into the, I'm sorry, drag it into the empty frame, and I'll show you again that all you have to do is double click on the image within the frame and dragging it, holding shift and dragging it so that you can adjust it so that it fits perfectly into frame. Something like that. All right. So another one of our partners is Webster. And here I'll show you how to upload your own photos to social media statics. That's similar to this or this. But as you can see, right, we have a slight gradient here. These are what you call layers, and it might affect on how you upload, but it's a simple fix. So in order for you to upload, let's all right. So I'm just gonna show an example what might happen if you were to just simply do the drag and drop. I'm gonna upload this photo here, and then uh, give me a minute. Sorry. All right. So while it's uploading, um, you might have a difficult time trying to upload it and replace the photo that's already on the template. Usually on Canva, it should just snap into frame. But since there are multiple, this design is a bit more complex. There are multiple layers. All you have to do is right click, select layers, hover over layers, and show layers. And here on the left side, you can see all the different layers that are in the design. I know it looks overwhelming, but trust me, it's extremely simple. All you have to do is bring this onto the top, right? So that it's center stage. And then from here, you can just change the photo and it's done. And then you can just double click, adjust it to how you want it. And then what you have to, what's important is you have to put it back to where it was. So in the templates, right? I had all the photos all the way set in the bottom. As long as it's behind the gradient on the bottom here, you should be fine. I'll show it again. Right click, hover over layers, show layers, and then simply just click and drag it onto the top just so that you can edit the photos. And then after that, when you have your photo selected, just bring it back down underneath the gradient here, just so that it sits right where it's supposed to be. All right. Next up, we have Heartpuri, right? It's another one of our brands here, and I'm presenting to you the carousel templates. And this is normally used for when you have multiple statics in a post, right? So here I'm just gonna try to refresh you guys again on how to do everything. All right, so as you can see here, we have our text, all the text here, our photos. This has also the complicated design to where I also have a, sorry, layers. Why is it my layers not showing? Layers, right? All this complex stuff, and it's hidden behind a that. So all you have to do again, just simply, I'll show you guys how to grab a photo from the web. Just simply copy image, and it will work. Right now, I have the image I got directly from their website. I didn't have to do anything, and paste it onto the Canva. And don't worry too much about the quality. I know it looks blurry now, but Canva is still processing it. But it will be compressed either way in Instagram. So just simply open layers again, show layers, and drag and drop here, and then just delete the old one. Not the I find a better example because it's extremely blurry right now. But I hopefully you guys understand. And yeah, um, if you have if you have any questions, let me know. I'm open to teaching you guys a bit more advanced stuff if needed. Yeah, that's it from my end. Kyla, take it away.
Thank you so much, Ricky. So actually, um, you know, okay, that now that you've heard a lot about Canva, I'm pretty sure everyone has questions still in their mind. So feel free to drop it in the Q&A box just down below your screen. If you hover your or move your mouse, the Q&A box will just show in below your screen. So if there's any questions that you have, please feel free to do so. So our speakers will be able to answer it for you. But before anything else, Jason, do you have anything to add or like, do you have any questions also on your mind that you might want to share or
Well,
any insights?
Actually, none so far, but I've already seen one
Hmm.
question here from Sabihachi. Uh, the question is, can you create gradient in Canva like the one you just shown? So I believe yes. Ricky, we've already talked about it earlier that this is going to be one of the questions because I can see that everyone is kind of excited with how to navigate Canva. It's very user friendly, and I believe Ricky will be able to show you guys because unfortunately
Yeah.
I can't I don't have my I don't have the ability to share my screen. So Ricky, kindly show them again on how they can create a gradient. Because I understand a lot of the agents and the BDs or the brand developers are kind of excited on how to use different colors, um, gradient colors, just for them to be able to blend it into the pictures
Mm-hmm.
in the future that they're be going to use.
Mm-hmm.
So, Ricky, kindly show them on how to create gradients,
All right.
color
Thank you, Jason.
gradients. Okay.
So I'm gonna share my screen again. Hold on.
Okay.
Um, all right. So I'm gonna bring us back here to Webster, right? As you guys can see, I already have a set gradient here, but I'll teach you guys how to do it from scratch. It's actually pretty simple. Let me select a shape here. Oh, let's wait for it to load. So we have our shape here, yeah? And let's pretend that this is the colors. Actually, we can select it from here. These are the colors, right? And to create a gradient, all you have to do is select this color icon here on top, right? And then as you can see, I have a presets already here made for myself. But to make your own gradient, simply click on the plus button here to add a new color. And from here, you click on gradient, right? And as you can see, there is already different versions of gradient here, but let's select the linear gradient. That's what we all normally use in our design side anyway. As you can see, it has two colors, but I know that you just want the one, right? You just want the one, and let's pretend that this is the Webster blue, and let's select, yeah. So this is the bottom color, and let's pretend that this is the Webster blue. All you have to do so that you have a transparent gradient is to select the second color, which is the first one. I know it's kind of weird. And then simply just drag this opacity all the way to the bottom. And now we have a transparent gradient from scratch. I have a gradient from scratch. And if it's a bit too harsh for you, you can also adjust the transparency here, selecting this checker tool right here and just adjusting it if it's a bit too harsh on your end, right?
That's amazing. That's actually the very first time also that I saw how to create it from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Before I thought that, they also have presets that's, we're very limited to how to use it, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
very happy that we can really create it from scratch. So thank you so much for that, Ricky. And we've got a few more questions here. So keep it coming, everyone, since we're already here.
Yes.
Ricky and Jason will be able to answer that for you. So, another question here is, can we edit an image in Canva? If yes, to what extent?
Okay, please allow me to answer that. Actually, we are not encouraging, but to be perfectly honest, there are limitations on how to edit images. Probably the correct term there is to decorate the image. If we are thinking that we should be able to edit images in Canva similar to the capability of Photoshop, it's very unfortunate that right now Canva is not capable of doing that. But we could always decorate the image that we are going to upload. One of that is the gradient that Ricky has shown earlier. And there are a lot of preset elements available in Canva nowadays. You could always check it in the Elements tab and you will see the shapes there. GIFs or GIF files that you could probably like to you would probably like to include as part of the design. But to answer it quickly, they right now image edit capability for Canva is very limited.
Thank you so
Yes.
much for that. Yeah.
If I may add to that, right?
Yes, of course.
As much it's not exactly encouraged to edit the file, but I will show you guys how you can edit it to an extent, right? So let's say, right, we have this photo here. Simply just click on the edit button here, and you should have I'm sorry, my screen froze. The edit button, right? And then you'll have the options here on the left side, and you can click on adjust. So this is all, as far as I know, this is all part of the Canva free, right? And then you can adjust the temperature from here. You can adjust tint from here, and then you can adjust brightness, contrast, highlights, and shadows. So let's say you were given a photo that's a bit too, dark and harsh, but I want to remind everyone that you're editing on either a JPEG or a PNG, and if you were to edit it too far, you're gonna end up ruining the photo a bit more. So please, just play around with it, but as much as possible, do only slight edits on it. But you can adjust, let's say, whites here. You can blow out the whites. You can make it as contrasty as you want, but as much as possible, try to keep it as original as possible, and only edit if it's needed. But yeah, I hope
Yeah,
that helped
also,
answer your question.
yes, thank you, Ricky. Also, just to add that one of the reason why we discourage the editing of image in Canva is because in the process we might add to the file size of it, and it's not ideal to, of course, to use a Canva file, may it be exported in a PNG or in PDF as a as the final file. It may the editing process may add up to the file size of the one that you are creating. So we are not encouraging to use that. Well, you could always use a simple edit, but generally, as much as possible, we would like you guys to maintain the same picture and just probably use the template, and hopefully should be able to suffice your need on the particular file that you are doing.
Thank you so much, Ricky and Jason. Another question here. So mostly the shapes that are in Canva are square, rectangular, which are mostly filled with, a black color inside. So it's a solid color and a solid shape. So how do I find a simple square box so I can also write my text inside the box?
Okay, I'll take this one. So it's actually pretty easy, right? As you can see here, let me close this so I can show you what guys where it is. It's right here on the elements box, right? Elements, and then you can just select the shape here. Oops, sorry. Just click on the shape and it'll appear. As you can see, you can already add text into it, right? It will automatically allow you to do that. And all you have to do is click out, and if you want to edit it again, just double click onto it and then it'll allow you to edit the text within the box. So I'll show you guys again. It's inside the elements, right? And then you just find shapes. It's normally on the fourth option. And if you can't find shape, just type here shape, and you'll be able to find it here. And there are actually more shapes here, but it's encouraged us to use either circular or rectangular. And then you just select here, and then again, just type in what you want. Right, I'm gonna type in my name, and then click out, and then you can move it around. And if you want to edit the text again, just double click onto the shape, and then you can edit your text from here. Simple as that.
Thank you, Ricky. So for going back to the gradient part earlier when you showed everyone how to do that,
Mhm.
is it also possible for Canva free version or they have to buy the pro version to do
Oh,
that?
it's inside the Canva free. I'll show you guys again. Right now, I am using a free account. So I'm able to make gradients by just click on the color here and then selecting gradients. Normally, to identify if it's a free or premium uh a premium feature, you'll see a tiny little crown here. That means you can't use it. You can't use it as a free user, but this is a free feature. Simply just click on gradient and then choosing the color you want and then lowering the opacity of the other one, and you have a transparent gradient.
Oh,
It's
so
it's in the free feature. Yes.
it's really that simple though. So
Mm-hmm.
thank you. Thank you so much for showing us that. Another question here. So can we make custom shapes in Canva?
Unfortunately, no. As much as I would love them to add that, right now custom shapes are not allowed. but there is a tool and that I can show you, but it's a bit more advanced, and I don't think we can cover it at the moment. And hopefully, if we have another webinar, I can show you a bit more advanced features in Canva.
Thank you, Ricky. So, actually, everyone, please just type in your questions if you still have, so our speakers will be able to show you well we can. But before that, we did get a few questions from our social media post when we posted the invitation for this online, and we've gathered a few questions if we could answer this today. So for Jason and Ricky, how do you do logo placement?
For the logo placement, how I mentioned before,
Mm-hmm.
um, first thing you have to enable is your margins, right? You show your margins, you'll see a white box around the design. And to add your agency logo, right? The three simple ways, right, is to simply go into, I'm sorry, where did it go?
The
Uploads
uploads.
here. Simply go into uploads, upload files. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, but I don't have a logo prepared, but and then just simply by selecting it, right?
Yeah.
Let's and then let's pretend that this square here is your logo. After you uploaded it, simply pretend that this is your logo. I think it's also important to point out, I forgot to mention it, especially for Webster, they don't like having logos next to their logos.
Mm-hmm.
So specifically just for Webster, and this applies to Webster US, Leiden, and Athens, your logo has to be on the bottom right-hand corner here. And from there, you'll just have to readjust the text here. Just simply click on it and move it up so that it doesn't obstruct the logo on the bottom.
Thank you so much for that,
If
Ricky.
I
And
Yeah, okay.
yes,
Yeah,
go
my
Jason.
apologies. If I may add to that, let's treat the logos like the images before, like Ricky has mentioned earlier. You have three ways to upload the logos. You can either drag and drop, copy and paste, and then of course use the upload button of Canva. So those are the three main ways on how you can upload images. Actually, not just JPEGs. You can also upload PNGs, uh,
SVG
flat.
files actually as
Yes,
well.
yes, yeah. Vector files like SVGs and EPS. For as long as your internet can cover the bandwidth, you can upload it in Canva.
But just to clarify, PNGs are better, right? It's much clearer, and it's specifically, suggested for high resolution images, right? PNG versus
JPEGs,
JPG. Yeah.
yeah, but they have their specific functions. Like for example, PNG normally is being used whenever the background is transparent because
Mm.
JPEG doesn't have the same capability. But for normal images, we could also make them high res. The JPEG can also be made into a high resolution version, provided of course that it was edited to make it or to generate a high resolution version of it. So they do have specific functions, and both of them can be rendered in a high resolution version.
So that's the difference. Well, thank you so
Mhm.
much for clarifying. Another question that we've had and we got from our social media: how do I export designs from Canva?
Okay, so let's say you are satisfied with your design, right? Simply clicking on the share button here in the top right hand corner. So let me just move this to the side and then pressing download and then selecting your file of choice. As you can see in the free Canva, we have a lot of options. We have JPEG, PNG, PDF standard, PDF print, so you can make print collaterals into Canva. SVG, but that's for premium. MP4, that's a whole different
Video.
thing. GIF and PowerPoints. So for social media, we either want PNG or JPEG, but let's just go with PNG because that's what Canva suggested, and Canva knows best. So let's click on PNG and then the size. As much as possible, you can. It's a premium feature, but I'll show you. You can increase the resolution size from here, but keep it to how it was, which is 1080 by 1350. That's the resolution we want for social media collaterals. And then simply clicking on, let's say you want page two, as you can see here on the top right, on the top here, that's page two. So simply just deselect all, and then clicking on, just select page two, press done, and then download. And um, yeah, Canva will do the exporting, and then your download will begin here.
Very easy for everyone. So that's how you export. Thank you so much. So we do jump to our next question. Can I make images in like turn it into shape? So for example, speaker image is round. So how do you do that?
Okay, so that one is also extremely simple. I'll show you an example here. So here, right, you see this. This is a square shape. This is a square shape frame, but let's do something a bit more exciting. So you have a round. You need to first insert the frame before inserting your photo. So let me do an example here. So here in Elements, right, all you have to do is search frames, and then I apologize for the slow. And then you see here frames. Oops, sorry. And then press select all, and you can see all the different types of shapes that you want. Unfortunately, you cannot have your own custom shape yet. I'm praying that one day that Canva might have that feature. But let's say we want a rounded shape here, a rounded square. And to simply just once again upload the photo that you want, and then simply just dragging and dropping into the shape. Now we have a shape, a picture into a shape.
Wow, it's very nice. Actually, you can use that for a lot of your presentations.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Ricky. Um, Another one here. So when uploading Illustrator or AI or Photoshop PSD files into Canva, does Canva preserve the original layers or are the files flattened into static images?
Let me answer some of it. For example, you upload a PSD file with layers. Yes, you can upload and the layers will be preserved, but not 100%. For example, there are effects that you did for a particular layer in the Photoshop application. When you upload that in Canva, most likely it will be rasterized, meaning that particular layer will be flattened, but you can still see the layers or the number of layers in Photoshop when you transition or export it in Canva. Similar to Illustrator, if there are a lot of edits or if the vector files are into different layers, you whenever you upload that to Canva, the vector side of it or the vector functionality of that particular object will flatten or will be rasterized as well.
Ah, okay.
And
So,
if I may, I'd add to that.
okay.
In terms of Illustrator, you can, but I don't encourage it because if you have a very extremely complex design,
File size.
it will not work. But if you were to export it as SVG, and let's say that you had to work on Canva, you export the AI file as SVG, upload it into Canva. It's either SVG and PDF. Both will work. And then let's say you just had to change a simple color, just upload it, export it SVG, upload it into Canva, and then you can select the specific thing that you need to change, and you can still change like the color and the text and text color. But in terms of trying to convert a very complex design from Adobe to Canva, I
Yeah.
don't recommend it because it's only gonna break it.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. And also, uh, you'll be able to save a bigger file size because knowing Photoshop and Illustrator, whenever you're trying to render with a lot of layers, if you try to save them into the mother file or the raw file, and if you're going to take a look at the file size, definitely it's going to be bigger, similar to Canva as well.
Oh, okay. I do have, I'm curious about something else actually. So I'm trying to use Canva on my own as well. How do you remove the background of an image? Is there a way that Canva could do that?
I'll answer this one.
Okay.
Yes, but unfortunately, it is a paid feature. But I can show you, but you will have to subscribe to a premium, unfortunately. First, let me just swap to a premium account. Very quickly, very quickly. Where is everything? It's possible, but you'll have to pay for the feature, unfortunately. Um, so let's say you see, I'm just gonna use this picture as an example here. Copy and then paste. We have this photo here, and then you can see it's as long as you select the photo, you'll see here background remover. It's a premium feature. Simply click on that, and Canvas AI will magically do it for you. You don't have to clean it or make any fuss. Does take a while, especially if the photos is complex.
AI is really powerful right now.
Yes, it really
Yeah.
is.
It's a good thing that Canva also, integrated AI into their software. So that's very nice. So unfortunately, yeah, you have to pay for it, but it's a
Hmm.
really nice it's a nice thing to know that we can do that even in Canva. So thank you so much, Ricardo. I think it's quite slow right now, or
Yes,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so let's jump into another question that we have here. So we have one person in our audience today. So Soyu from Myanmar. So says that he is using Canva for social media design for their consultancy. So if we post on social media, must we use the university template from InUni? So in a designer's perspective here in uni, is that the case?
Jason.
Uh, I believe yes. Whenever we're trying to promote that particular brand and it's under InUni, ideally, we should be able to promote that using the InUni brand.
Okay, that's good to know. And then I think this is quite connected. Apart from adding our consultancy logo, would it also be acceptable to include a small portion of our brand color and contact information in the InUni template?
In terms of brand color, it's extremely important that it remains with the color palette to the associated with the brand. But when it comes to your contact information, um, as long as you're following the as long as you're following the brand fonts and it doesn't take up like the entire design that is allowed. But when it comes to use incorporating agency colors, no. It must stick to the university colors and university colors only. This is why I encourage everyone to please, before editing, please do review the brand guidelines, which is also included in the toolkit.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Jason, anything to add?
Yes, I'd just like to add that it's very important for us, every one of us, to follow the brand guidelines of our stakeholders.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for the additional input. Another question that we have here. So, if I am creating a graphic design for a university, do I prioritize their colors or my brand colors? Oh,
Uh,
sorry,
as
you're.
men- My apologies. Let me answer that. As mentioned earlier, as much as possible, we use the brand or the university colors whenever we are trying to, of course, create a collateral for it. So as much as possible, aside from following, yeah, basically we just have to follow the brand guidelines before we do anything, and that's the main reason why we created the template for you guys, or the different templates for each of the brands that we are working with. So for you to be able to work easier, faster, and just probably change the text and upload the images that you desire. So basically, that's the main function of the templates that we have created for you guys.
Yeah, they're making it easier for you guys. So you can follow the brand colors and the branding of the certain um, b- partner that you have. So, yeah, I think that's the last question that we had. So, if there are, and any other questions, feel free to drop it in your Q&A box. But if there are none, I think we can conclude the session already. But before that, anything, lastly, anything you'd like to share, or before we end this session, Jason or Ricky, if there is something that pop in your head that you want to share before I end this session.
Well, for me, I would just like to thank everyone for joining and for gracing our invitation, because we really wanted to share this for you guys to be able to use the templates in the future. The all the templates that we are going to share probably by the end of September, right, Miss Kyla? So right as soon as you receive the templates, hopefully we were able to assist you with this training that we have provided. And this is recorded, right? So this is going to be
Yes.
available for review and replay in the future.
How about you, Ricky? Any additional inputs?
Well, I do encourage everyone to feel free to express the creativity side. You are
Mm-hmm.
allowed to move around some of the elements. Let's say you don't want the text here in the bottom, you can move it to the top, however you feel. But it just needs it's what's important is that the colors stay within the brand, assets are staying within the brand, and please do read the brand guidelines and the rule book that we provided for you. But don't let that
Amazing.
limit your creativity with the templates.
Oh, yeah. That's why there are so many features in Canva. So you can play around with it, and you
Hmm.
can use all of it, all the elements and all the editing tools that they have. So, yeah, that was a fantastic webinar, everyone, wasn't it? So we would like to thank our speakers, Ricky and Jason. Thank you so much for giving us, a valuable and insightful training session for today. So, for those who just joined in, again, tune in to this toolkit that we are making for you, the landing page, because we're making it easier for you to with your recruitment and your designing. So, it will be by launched by the end of September. So stay tuned, and we're very excited for it. And now we really hope you found it insightful and enjoyable. So we do hope to see you again very soon on our next training session. Until next time, bye everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.